but because we have all the different funds and all the different departments and everybody working all over the place, the spreadsheet is quite intense to,
Right.
you know, you put that number in and then it has to figure out for everybody where they worked, their rate of pay, where, you know, the department that it's supposed to be booked to. So I think we've got most of them done. So we're trying to get it done before the beginning of the fiscal year going forward so that it's all finished and
Is that spreadsheet something that's printable?
something that's read.
Printable, once you get it into the system, can it be printed?
Yeah, it's just an Excel spreadsheet, you know, but, and then it gives us the figures.
So, do
And then I
you,
put it into the system.
right,
And then once you get it in there, if nothing changes, then it's just the same going.
so do you print that and maintain a paper record of it?
Of the spreadsheet, no. It's, because I'm taking that information and I'm putting it into a claim
Right,
or a journal entry or
Right.
however, and then it gets into the report, into the.
so that'd be the only way you'd be able to see it is if you printed the spreadsheet.
Well, no,
It's our payroll tax, I mean, what are you looking for?
Well, a breakdown of everything that you're entering in. You said you have people working
Oh,
all
yeah.
over the place with different funds and all of that. But in order to transfer that information into the system, you have to put it on paper first and then follow it along.
Right. On my paper, on my spreadsheet, you're gonna see debits and credits to the different funds and different accounts. Then I take that information and I put it into a journal entry.
in Black
and-
Mountain, right?
Yeah, and then that gets into
Yeah.
these reports. I think eventually,
We should find another bookkeeping system.
Another $50,000.
let's
White elephant.
be a little
Good
bit
name
more
for a business.
patient. It is kind of, it's got its weird little quirks, but
Right.
we're getting it straightened out, and if it, once we get it fine tuned and it's working good and we can figure it out, great. If not, I think we should give it a chance before we go.
Does that answer?
Well, my other thing is the cash report. As I told you before, I really like this report. Has a lot of really good information. It has, to me, some questionable things that if I were on the board, I'd be asking, so how much longer is this gonna happen? And that includes the money that are negatives. Like, how do you have negative in your capital reserve account? That makes no sense to me. That means you borrowed it from somewhere. And the negatives in the operating cash, that tells you quite a bit. The payroll negative, I'm not quite sure. I think that's probably a month-to-month basis, Paula, is that right? Depending on what's coming out that hasn't been recorded yet? Yeah.
Yeah,
But again, the water department is still a major concern in terms of where they are financially,
Yep.
what money they owe somebody, and the $55,000 they have in Cantella, and maybe that will be with what you talk about, Cantella, but I didn't see it in that report, that maybe that will be credited to fire by selling it, or to water by selling it to some other, one of the funds. I don't know. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you have a comment?
Thank you, ma'am. No.
Okay. Is there a motion?
My motion to receive and file.
Second.
Thank you.
Oops. Sorry,
Is
Eric.
there a second?
Second.
Motion by Director Sangster, second by Director Calvins. Director Parent,
Yes.
Director Calvins,
Yes.
Director Sangster,
Yes.
President Green.
Yes.
Passes 4-0, one absent, to receive and file.
Discuss auditing firm proposals and awards. Award a contract for annual financial audit services for a 3-year period for years ending June 30, 2019, 2020, 2021.
So our district was contracted for 3 years with Moss Levy prior to, now they completed their agreement with the last audit being done. So we put out an RFP requesting proposals for contracting services. We received 6 proposals. Myself, Mark Parent, Director Sangster reviewed the 6. We pulled the 3 we thought were most qualified based on distance, cost, and service. Those 3 submittals were invited into an interview process. On the 19th, we held a meeting to do the interviews. So we interviewed 3 firms, and after that interview was concluded, it was left to the board members to review and discuss based on the information gathered in those interviews. And we're here tonight to discuss and make a selection based on what was been provided.
And we only had 3 board members present. And now, one of those is not here tonight. So this is an impossible task.
Now, you guys did all receive the packets.
Yes.
Packets. Yeah. They got packets.
We got the packets.
Their,
They didn't get the
their
answers.
information.
They didn't get the answers to the interview questions.
Well, they do have these.
They weren't here to listen to people speak. So
Did anybody review the video from the special meeting?
we asked everybody to watch the, no?
I,
Asked by who, when? I was here. I didn't even watch it. Oh, my God.
I just.
We wanted to make you guys, we asked that you guys get a copy, or not a copy, but to go and view the meeting that we had, so that you could get a firsthand understanding of the interview. How else can you say that?
I did it.
Nobody ever said nothing to me, so I don't know what to say.
Right, okay, well,
I did speak to Mr. Robertson about the meeting,
Mhm.
and I also did speak to Mr. Powell. Mr. Robertson made some very good comments and also got me caught up on the meeting. It was clear from the comments that were made and how the meeting was conducted that 2 of the 3 candidates seemed like they were the most willing, eager, and qualified, and then there was another candidate who.
there was one that we decided we weren't even gonna consider it.
And from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, that was the one from Salinas. Is that the one?
It was the highest bid.
It was the highest bid.
It was the highest bid.
And I agree with the consensus. Also, from my own personal discussions with Mr. Robertson being caught up, and also from looking at the RFP, and I think Moss Lee provides the most number of hours, even though they are in the middle bid. So they do have, give us the most amount of flexibility to do the audits. Because the other organization is in the Bay Area, and either they are lower, if they run out of time, then they ask for a change order, and I don't know how that will be.
What's it not to exceed?
Okay.
There's no change order.
There's no change
They're
order.
all not to exceed.
What's that?
Mons Levy's in Beverly Hills. I mean, they have a Santa Maria office, but they're,
Okay. Personally, either, I don't know what the 2 other directors' thoughts who were here, but it seemed like not either Moss Levy, they offered the most number of hours, but the company from Oakland had the lowest bid. So I know by law, you go for the lowest bid responsive bid.
well, and this was handled in RFP process. In general public purchase, there is no requirement that you take the lowest bid. If you're doing just an IFA, you would request bids, they're submitted, they're open in public forum with the bidding company's presence, and you are obligated to take the lowest bid. In the RFP process, you really, the whole point is you are seeking the best value
Right.
for the district. So with that, you have obviously some flexibility. If the lowest cost to the district is not necessarily going to be the lowest total cost of ownership, in other words, if they aren't providing enough hours or requires much more staff time, it really isn't the best value because we're still spending more money preparing everything for them up front. So, the cost of them is close enough that I don't think that it's
Right.
as major consideration as.
It's $3,000.
Right, as the work to be done.
And Mossy does have existing knowledge of the district's books.
I think that's a huge plus.
I would agree so. And they're offering most number of hours. So,
Well, I mean,
The other company of the two that we're now considering, and we should probably be clear that we are considering Harshwall and Moss Levy Hartsman. I feel that both companies are equally capable of doing the job. I am in favor of Moss Levy just because of the familiarity that they already have. We've already developed a relationship with them, and I think that that has a value knowing that we already know ahead of time that they provide a quality product. Whereas we go somewhere else and we're gonna get what we get, could be good. Guy interviewed well, he knew the answers to the questions, but that's all we know, is that he has the knowledge to the questions we asked. And quite honestly, they were not very challenging questions.
I got a question.
Oh, no, shit.
Can't talk.
You will.
We'll get to you.
Joe? Well, obviously I wasn't, as it was pointed out, I wasn't involved in the interview process. Basically with what I know, Moss Levy, yes, they do have familiarity. My concern with them would be the peer review discrepancies. And other than that, I mean, they've done the job, we know they can do the job, but it's a little bit more than it was, but the cost of everything goes up. But, I'd be happy, I'd be just fine with you guys as a quorum deciding, and I'll recuse myself since wasn't involved with the interview, so I don't have that frame of reference. Well, then, it's a push, right?
I will take public comment.
Let's do public comment.
Okay.
We do have a staff comment too.
Yes.
Okay, this lady here, she should be the one that does the audit.
Okay, can we have your comment?
No, what I'm saying,
She's not a friend.
everybody, okay, she's a wealth of information
I agree.
on everything that's going on here. So, now she's not a high dollar audit company, but there's any reason that you can't get her involved with whoever you bring here?
Can I give you the short of it?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she arrived late and she did not get to hear the first interview. So,
Well, I'm just talking
knowing
about-
that she has a relationship with one of these companies already is valuable. That's valuable, and I've said that. I think it's valuable that we already know how they operate. We communicate, we already have a communication process with them in place, right?
No, he wants Laverne to do the audit.
Laverne.
Oh,
No, Laverne.
He has nothing good to say about Paul.
Laverne, who would you pick? Were you here for the interviews?
No, I wasn't.
No, that's what I'm saying, but I mean, everybody listened to her. I listened to her with great intent. She had more information about what's going on here with money going here and there and everything. And she had a lot of good information. So what I'm saying is, okay, if you have to hire some high-priced audit company to come in and audit, pay her a little bit to give them some information. She's got more information than,
I don't think she's
No,
licensed
she
or bonded.
licensed, she-
I know,
She had a lot of
but
questions.
she could work for the audit company to give them information.
As a consultant?
As a consultant,
Thank
She
you.
does well with them.
yeah.
I need to hear from Paula now.
I don't know if this would help make a decision, but, I was talking to Ashley because I think we need to have an out if we don't if we go with the Harshwell company, or we have issues understanding or whatever, at least we can say, okay, we're not gonna do the rest of the contract. We're just gonna,
A performance period?
yeah.
I
I know it's not,
and it's based on a, I don't wanna say it.
what if we just don't get along, you know?
Maybe that's what if, that
That's
happens
what I
every
mean.
day, everywhere.
But, you know, if we're gonna be signing a 4-year contract with these people, I'd like to have some kind of, or 3 years, whatever it is.
Well, look, the reality is that with whatever contracts that we're entering, we should have a clause that allows us to terminate the contract with 30 days notice for any cause. With anybody, not just an auditor. So in the case of a situation where we're contracting professional services, there really should be no question. If we are putting this clause in the contract, we can terminate for 30 days for any reason. It doesn't matter what the reason is. If we don't, it can be as simple as we don't feel they're performing to what we expected based on what they presented, any reason. And it's just 30 days notice. So provided they're agreeable to that, then we simply notify them that we won't be using your services 30 days from now, period. And that's it, there's really no other discussion that's required.
I like that, because it's, we
What, is
don't,
it worth $3,000 to have a company that's already proven?
What do you mean?
Well, we've been working with this one company for three years of audits. And it was a pretty challenging task, and they rose to the occasion.
Did they?
Well,
Staff, did they rise to the occasion?
Well, I think so, they exceeded it because they were put under the gun in some certain situations because they had a tax season. and
Right.
There were deadlines and
2 audits
They-
in 1 year.
Right.
they were asked to, review and fix and then come up with this audit by a certain date and they beat the date requested.
Well, I don't know if this is a question I can ask, but who does staff want? You're the ones who have to work with them, not us.
I also think that because Black Mountain is
I mean,
a unique software program, that I think is very important that whoever we choose has some kind of knowledge, because there is a learning curve with that program.